Welcome to Racing with Jesse Rosinski. Hopefully, you enjoyed your long weekend. Hopefully, you got to enjoy the racing that happened on the long weekend because there was some good stuff next to some of the really boring stuff in there. I'll say NASCAR was better. Yeah, Cup Series, especially this weekend. For the Coke 600 than they were at Texas in the All Star race. Can't deny that. IndyCar is a lot of follow the leader and some excitement there at the end. But it is what it is. Monaco, you couldn't pass, and that was just a weird day. Like that was the way Sunday started. That was weird. Like I'm going to get into all the there was a lot of just sitting there just holding your head, trying to figure out why in the world they were doing some of the things they were doing because it made no sense at all. At all. Like that whole F1 thing was just weird, but I'm going to start out, get through the weekend with the smaller stuff. Smaller series, no offense to them, they are. The ARCA Menards General Tire 150 from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Lots of fire was involved in that race. Brandon Jones came down from the Xfinity Series, started on pole. Parker Chase had a fire in his dashboard by lap 3. It's just one of those days. There were a lot of wrecks and way too many caution laps involved with it all because everyone just kept going around. And lots of fires. Like with a lot of the wrecks, there was a lot of fire. So I don't know what was going on with that, whether it was something in the car, just the impact, like what was going on. It was really weird though. And shout out to Raja Caruth for the handful that he had pretty much that whole entire second half after this break in the middle, as he was holding on for dear life. So good on him. But Brandon Jones came down. He got the win. Corey Heim second, Raja Caruth third, Mozak fourth, Van Lust fifth, Daniel Dye sixth, Balkin seventh. So good for her. Nick Sanchez eighth, Cosentino ninth, Core 10th, and Breidinger came in 11th. So good for her. She was, got what she could out of it in the end, and she didn't wreck and she held on to it, which a lot of people couldn't say. Again, there were a lot of wrecks and a lot of fires and a lot of just weird stuff. So good on her. I didn't like that there's only 6 or 7 cars on the lead lap. Those with that many cautions. I mean, there's a lot of wrecks, obviously, but that was just weird. And I do really, really think it's kind of amazing. And all of you should agree that Brandon Jones goes down to the ARCA series and wins. No one bats an eye. Kyle Busch goes down to a series, even if he doesn't win, and all hell breaks loose because of him being down there. But everyone else can go down and win races, and that's completely okay. Brandon Jones, just another example of that. I just, found that to be funny. Call me what you want. I thought it was convenient. But he got the win, and good on. I mean, hey, any way you can win, you're going to win. So good on him. Then move on to the Camping World Truck Series, North Carolina Education Lottery 200 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. Ty Majeski started on pole. Kurt Busch was in commentary. Oh, and shout out to Corey LaJoy because he was on commentary on the team for the ARCA Menards race. So, and he did a good job. So can't go without saying that. Anyway, Kurt Busch on commentary for this. Found out Ford never won a truck race at Charlotte, which I didn't know is almost unbelievable for how long they've been doing it. So that was just weird. But Zane Smith won stage 1. Shocker, I know. But Matty D was in 7th. And then the way everything ended just wasn't fair. But Ben Rhodes won stage 2. Yeah, late caution comes out, right at the end. Hocevar was like out front. He was gone. He was going to win it unless something happened. Something happened. Next restart, he took him and, he himself and Ryan Preece out, and Preece was trying to get around him. Preece was pissed. I don't blame Preece for being pissed at him. I mean, he did apologize and say it was an idiot move after the fact, but, again, everyone's been doing so much weird stuff to get their first, career wins this season. It just seemed, normal to me, but good racing there. And again, because of that wreck, Ross Chastain won, Grant Enfinger was second, John Hurt Nemechek third, Christian Eckes fourth, Zane Smith got a fifth, so good for him. Tanner Gray sixth, Kyle Busch seventh, and that's still another, he's running out of races this year, guys. Where he's, running for him to get the win and extend his streak, which is just weird that he still hasn't gotten one this year in the few races. I mean, again, he should have had Coda. No one's going to deny that. If those two didn't wreck and take him out at the same time, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But he was running 7th, and he wasn't happy all night. Chandler Smith was 8th. Stuart Friesen was 9th. Ben Rhodes 10th. Ryan Preece still finished 11th after it was all done. Matty D got 17th after being in the top 10 all night and having a flat with, I think, 18 to go. It's just his luck, the way it's been running all year, about to get a solid top 10, the top 8, pretty much 7, 8 all night. It was even 5th at one point before that tire went down. Just more garbage luck. But even with that flat, still got 17th, Matt Crafton 18th, and Haley Deegan all the way down in 27th. Just absolutely just abysmal. And she needs to turn her stuff around too, because this has just been, I don't even have a word for it. Underwhelming. I think underwhelming is a good one. We'll go with underwhelming so far. She's had a lot of dumb stuff happen this season too, so it hasn't all been her fault. She's gotten caught up in other people's stuff too. But otherwise, it really just has been a bad year for her. Crafton's back. He needs good runs. Matty Diaz, bad luck. Yeah. Hocevar will get one sooner or later, the way he's running. But Crafton, Haley Deegan, Matty D, they need to figure out and get better luck, because they've just all had really bad luck, or they've just had really bad trucks. And there's been no in between, which is absolutely just terrifying when you think about it, especially when you see what Crafton's teammates are doing. We all know what Haley did last year. Again, Matty D, this is his first time in the trucks, but he's already done better than they did last year. He had more top 10s way fast, than they had all of last season, way early. He's a good driver, just really bad luck. And hopefully it turns around. We all know how I feel about Matty D. Again, Haley too. Just I want to see her do well. And Crafted, they've had such bad luck, and they really need to turn around, because especially Matty D and Crafted, if they want to make the playoffs, they're gonna need something to happen. And the luck that they're having lately, it's not going to happen, and that sucks. But hopefully they figure it out, because Crafton can still pull one out if he had to. Matty D, I think, he's getting better every week. When they don't have something bad happen, he's running better for a team that, was very underwhelming last year. So hopefully it works out for him. We'll see. And a shout out to Kurt Busch for saying that Chastain is not saying that he's taking over as the new Newman, but he's physically impossible to get around most of the time in the Cup Series. I get it. I agree. Why do you think? We've seen Truex all pissed off on all kinds of people pissed off. I'm good luck trying to get around him. He will race you to death to get around him. And hopefully he doesn't, make that, prove that as effectively as Newman did. But he's hard to get around. He got the win there. He lucked into it. But there are a lot of guys that need to get better luck, and gals, to turn their season around, or it's already lost if we're getting to that point in the truck series, just because how short their schedule is. They really need something to happen. So hopefully they turn it around. I'm not holding my breath for, Crafton or Haley or Matty D, just because they've all had such bad luck all year. And that's really sadly what it comes down to. That's bad luck. Really bad luck. So hopefully that gets better. You had the Xfinity Series. Alsco Uniforms 300 at Charlotte. Sam Mayer started on pole, and it was the drivers only broadcast, which I'm a fan of. They had him do it at Charlotte, which is so much easier because they're all from the area. They know the track, they know the bumps. And it's not like a road course where they're having to try to figure out which turn everything is. And they're doing that. So they picked a great job to do it with Tyler Reddick and Austin Cindric as pit reporters, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano in the booth. I thought they did a great job with it. I enjoyed it. You guys might not have, but I thought they did a good job, and I didn't have to hear the same idiotic things coming out of the same people's mouths, which does kind of get old after a while. But to the racing, I thought it was, a little better than we saw. There's some pretty amazing stuff too, but Junior Motorsports had 4 of the top 5 starters, which is just showing you how good they were. I watch out for them every week because they're that fast. You got 4 of the top 5 starters after qualifying, and they're all running that good during the race. That's kind of terrifying and amazing all at the same time. Sucks for everyone else, but they got their stuff together right now. Sooner or later, people do pick up on it. Teams pick up, at the end that weren't there at the beginning. But I think they're dangerous right now. But Josh Berry won stage 1. It was amazing to see when Brandon Jones did the full drift in the middle of the pack in 3 and 4, no caution came out. Amazing. After what happened at the end of the All-Star race, what they threw a caution for, and he was at a full 4-tire drift, smoke everywhere from the tires, they didn't throw a caution. I thought that was just amazing, and they proved all of our points as to why they threw it in the All-Star race. But Justin Allgaier won stage 2, which is a 10th straight for Junior Motorsports. It's just mind-altering to even think of that any team could win that many straight stages, because that's 5 straight races where they've won both stages. Because stage 3 means the race winner. So that's just outstanding. Good on them to get all of that. They're running really good, and someone's going to have to beat them besides Ty Gibbs. Can Ty be the one to do it? Yes, but I don't know. 10 straight stages. That is just an astronomical number for them to have. But otherwise, Riley Herbst lost a tire, Nate Wall after running good all day, and he needs good runs. That sucked. Big wreck on the restart after that. Lots of cars. Joe Graff Jr., Austin Dillon, Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, and Stephen Parsons. Yeah, which was considered the big one of the weekend at the time. Don't worry, the Cup Series, they outdid that. They really, really outdid that. And there was wrecks all over the place there. But the racing between Allgaier and Barry, Allgaier trying to hold off Barry was, they didn't get into each other. Allgaier got loose and got into the wall. But, again, they raced each other clean. I don't know what it's like to be an owner watching two of your cars racing that hard for the lead. It has to, that has to suck to watch. Just waiting for something bad to happen, but they didn't do anything. Allgaier just got loose and got into the wall. Barry ended up, Josh Berry ended up winning by like 17 seconds, I believe, but there's only 6 on the lead lap too. That was the big problem with it. Like, that was the Xfinity Series, one under the Cup Series. There's only 6 cars on the lead lap. Wasn't a fan of that at all. Like, that, something's got to be done about that, because that number just absolutely sucks, and no one can deny that. But all in all, Josh Berry won. Ty Gibbs was second. And then there's those junior motorsports, guys, Sam Mayer, Noah Gregson, 3rd and 4th. Ryan Priest got a 5th, so good for him to come back after how the truck race ended. Daniel Hemrick 6th. There's Justin Allgaier still 7th after the tire issue, late in there. So all 4 of them in the top 7, and it would have been higher if Allgaier didn't, get into the wall and have that trouble. So another dominating performance from junior motorsports. Calling them, need to get their stuff back together, and Gibbs needs to be. Gibbs is right there again. I can't really say anything because Ty Gibbs still finished 2nd, but Trevor Bayne was 9th in the other car. But there's just junior motorsports is on fire, and congratulations to them, and just see if anyone can beat them. That's the big one. Can someone stop them? And we'll have to wait and see. But Sheldon Creed was 8th. He needed it. The season he's been having the bad luck, so good for him up there again. Trevor Bayne was 9th in with the sponsor this time, which is good to see. And then Myatt Snyder was 10th, rounding out there. And again, the racing, was better, and people could pass better compared to the other weekend before in Texas. But again, my 6 people on the lead lap, it's an astronomically low number for the Xfinity Series. So nothing anyone could do. It's just really, really weird to see that. So, again, I don't think it was normal. If you don't like it, comment and tell me you don't like it. But I think that was just really way too weird for me to see, that many. But here's what it is. Good job to Junior Motorsports for getting another one. Everyone up there in the top 10. Shout out to Ty Gibbs for at least being, 2nd and breaking it up. Justin Allgaier for hitting the wall and all that, and getting, still finishing good. Ryan Priest because the run he had Friday night, the trucks and how that ended to get a top 5. And Sheldon Creed getting 8th because he really actually did need it. The way his season's been going, he needs to, and a lot of it, again, he's one of those just bad luck. That's even been a lot of his doing. He just gets caught up in bad stuff. So it was good to see him get a top 8. Congratulations to him. Again, he needs it. That's really the big one for that too. Like, he needs it. He really needs it if he wants to get, to the playoffs or anywhere here in his rookie season in the Xfinity Series. And hopefully, that he's got 1 or 2 of them going. Maybe, hopefully he keeps it going for a while. We'll wait and see. But I hope he does. I like the kid. We all know what he could do, as a driver, what he did in the trucks. We just have to see how it all works out in the end. But hopefully he could string them together, because if he strings them together, he might be able to sneak into the playoffs and get something. But I like him as a driver, so hopefully it works out. Again, comment and tell me what you think about it. But I think he can still make a shot. I just don't think anyone's going to beat Junior Motorsports right now. And they have the numbers, which is the problem with it. Because they're all running that good. That's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be really, really, really hard to beat. I don't care what anyone says. It's going to absolutely suck to try to beat. The F1 Monaco GP in Monte Carlo, obviously. Again, boring race, but Q1 results were Charles Leclerc 1st, Carlos Sainz 2nd, George Russell 3rd, Ocon 4th, Lando Norris 5th, Max Verstappen 6th, Sergio Perez 7th, Kevin Magnussen 8th, Yuki Tsunoda 9th, Sebastian Vettel 10th, Ricardo 11th, Fernando Alonso 12th, Lewis Hamilton 13th, Mick Schumacher 14th, and Valtteri Bottas 15th. And the five that didn't move on, Alex Albon 16th, Pierre Gasly, and the 17th, Lance Stroll was 18th, Latifi 19th, and then Granu was 20th. Q2, which again, they're all running out there together trying to get laps and getting cut off, which is why I like F1 qualifying. It's just good to see them out there, and people do ruin laps for people. But Q2, Charles Leclerc was still first. This time, Sergio Perez was second, Carlos Sainz third, Max Verstappen fourth, Lando Norris fifth, Russell Ocon sixth, Lewis Hamilton seventh, Sebastian Vettel eighth, George Russell ninth, Fernando Alonso 10th, and this time Tsunoda in 11th, Valtteri Bottas in 12th, Kevin Magnussen in 13th, Daniel Ricciardo in 14th, and Mick Schumacher in 15th. Didn't make it to Q3 and didn't make the cut, and that was also the first time that Mick Schumacher didn't make Q3 in his career, which is just astronomical to even think of that, for how many races you're into it to make it to Q3 every time. That is impressive. It sucks to see it go, but it was a weird weekend for Haas altogether. I'm going to get into that. If you didn't watch it and you don't know, it was kind of nuts. So, lots of nuts. But Q3, Perez went around with 30 seconds left. He collected signs, had to change a gearbox after it, but everything was all good and it was right at the end. But Charles Leclerc got the pole. Carlos Sainz was second. Sergio Perez third. Max Verstappen fourth. Lando Norris fifth. George Russell sixth. Fernando Alonso seventh. Lewis Hamilton eighth. Sebastian Vettel ninth. And Russell Ocon 10th. And that gets us to Sunday, race day. And whoever was making decisions there, like they need to be fired, whether out of a cannon or fired from their job. I don't know. But whoever, again, it started in wet conditions. There was a lot of big stuff there. But we sat there for an hour without anyone even looking at the track to see what was going on for forever. And then they finally started and they have to throw a red flag immediately because it starts coming down raining again. Everyone back out of their cars. Whoever came up with that decision should be fired because that was absolutely disgusting. That absolutely sucked. And it was pathetic and embarrassing. It was really, really dumb for the sport. And they made them look that bad in front of the world when everyone knew that they were, going to be looking, because the weekend it was, you got Monaco, Indy 500 and the Coke 600 all in one day. And that was just bad. That was really bad. Whoever was, making the calls for all of that. What the hell? Not even to check, get them going when it's going to start right. It was just so dumb. But hey, at least during that, we got to see Russell Wilson was there on top of the Mercedes AMG paddock. And shout out to the commentators for how big of a day of racing it was, mentioning the Indy 500 and treating NASCAR and the Coke 600 like it was nothing. Thanks, guys. Letting us know exactly how you feel about the world of NASCAR. Big thumbs up. But it was just, again, after all that, Latifi spun out while they're running, behind the safety car, trying to get going. They did 2 laps behind the safety car under caution before they started with a rolling start, which is just weird. But both Haas cars went out. Kevin Magnussen had issues with his car. I believe it was a power issue. And then Mick Schumacher wrecked so hard that he broke his car into 2 almost simultaneously. Thankfully, he got out. I think I shared the video to the page, so please go and look and find that if I did. Or you could just look it up, find F1. But smashed the bejesus out of that. So it was good to see him get out. And again, like you said, he was only off by about 10 centimeters too wide. And that can just put you on a sheet of glass. So I'm glad he made it and everything, was okay with that. But that was a really big one. And hometown boy Charles Leclerc, he should have won. I don't care what anyone says. He dominated it. He should have won before that round of pit stops, got him back to 4th. And then they turned it into a timed race after the red flag again for, Mick Schumacher's problems to a time limit because of a local curfew, which you knew was going to rain. You knew it was going to rain. Again, I just don't get the point in all of that. But Sergio Perez got the win because he couldn't pass at all. Trust me, Carlos Sainz was all up in his backside for a while there. Couldn't pass, couldn't do it. But Perez won, just got a new contract too. It's 2024, so congratulations to him. I think that was a good move by Red Bull and him to get that done because he's talented and look what Red Bull is doing right now, power-wise and all that. So good on them. Carlos Sainz second, Max Verstappen third, Charles Leclerc fourth, George Russell fifth, Lando Norris sixth, Fernando Alonso seventh, Lewis Hamilton eighth, Russell Ocon 9, and Valtteri Bottas wrapped up the top 10 for the race. And another side note from that, this is the first race of the season that Max Verstappen has finished and didn't actually win. Pretty sure he went out in 2. That was race 7, so he won 4. Like he was hammering them off for a while there. So, yeah, but his teammate got the win. So, I mean, the only races that I think they both went out in both of those races. So the only races that, they didn't win were races that I'm pretty positive that neither of them finished. So that's amazing and impressive. So congratulations to them, but it's a historic track. It's a beautiful track. It's a beautiful place, but you cannot pass. And that race was abysmal. And I saw a lot of people saying it was the first F1 race that they watched and that consider it, they don't want to watch ever again because I thought that was it. Like, that's not it. But there's a lot of exciting F1. I mean, there's a lot of follow later, but there's a lot of people that are racing each other hard when they show the stuff through the back of the pack. And again, with the rain and then more rain and the red flags and a curfew and, and you can't pass there. Like, they need to figure something out there. And again, I like it for the history and what it is for, the day and the weekend and all that. But if that's what the racing is going to be like, they're going to have to do something. And we heard they don't have the new contract, all that done yet. So we'll see what happens. But, wasn't good. But good on, Perez for getting the win. And Max was third. So both of them, Red Bulls on the podium. Charles Leclerc should have won, but he got screwed. That whole pit thing, fell back to fourth. And again, you can't pass no matter how good your car is. If you can't pass, it doesn't matter. So hopefully they do something about that. Then we get to the NTT IndyCar Series, 106th running of the Indianapolis 500 and a double points day. And again, drafting and passing people here and there, exciting. Some exciting. The start was exciting. There were some restarts that were exciting. Scott Dixon was on pole and pretty much, again, dominated the whole thing till right there at the end, the way the pits worked out. But really the big story for me was all the big impacts. Like when those guys hit, they were hitting. Granted, look how fast they're going. But, a lot of them are in the same spot too, around turn 2. But VK, he was leading at times really fast. Done. Islet, the rookie, wrecked hard. Grosjean. Scott McLaughlin, and I'll say Scott McLaughlin looked like the hardest. I mean, he slammed the wall, went down through the ground, and then came back and hit the wall again, which had to hurt worse than anyone else's just because of that. So I was glad to see he was okay. And then Jimmy, he leads a lap. With like 13 to go, and everyone's doing their pit stuff. And then a few laps later, he ended up wrecking nose in first into the wall. But he was disappointing all day long. Sorry. Any Jimmy Johnson fans, we know how much I like him, but no one can deny that was not a disappointment just for how back he was the entire time. Lots of hope going into it. And I believed he could run a lot better. Just look at him in practice and qualifying. And sadly, it wasn't good, but hey, maybe there's next year. We'll see how it all works out. But Marcus Ericsson gets the win. Pato Award second. Tony Kanaan came in there and got a third. So good on Kanaan. Rosenquist fourth, Alexander Rossi fifth, Daly sixth, Elio Castroneves seventh, Simon Pagenaud eighth, Alex Palou ninth, and Santino Ferrucci. By the way, our friend Clint Boyer, NASCAR side, a very large fan of Santino Ferrucci. We learned that in 2020 during all the iRacing races. But he rounds out the top 10 with Juan Pablo Montoya getting 11th. So shout out to him, and Scott Dixon ended up 21st. Again, late things happen. He dominated it until then. So it sucked, but sadly, that is the way, the cookie actually does crumble sometimes. But again, there were some exciting moments, more exciting moments there than the F1 race, but a lot of follow the leader strategy works out, when wrecks happen too, like that catches people. So not the most exciting thing, but still a way better race than the F1 race, which then gets us to, I think, the best race of the weekend if there wasn't so much crazy going on, but which is the Coca-Cola 600 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 4 stages at 100 laps each because of how long the race is. The longest race of the year turned out to be the longest race ever for NASCAR. So congratulations to them, even though it was because of a bunch of wrecks and cleanup that took way too long. But hey, a record's a record, isn't it? I think so. But and the racing, was better there. People could pass, which was good. But Denny Hamlin started on pole. Early we saw Priest, Buescher go around. Well, Buescher went around Priest, then spun around. Noah went around at the same time. The only problem is Noah and Chris Buescher kept going, and Noah spun. He didn't hit anything. He spun trying to avoid them, but Priest was out after the contact was sucked. I was hoping things would work out better just with how Friday went. But he went from being pissed, having a good run, to being out way too early, in my opinion. Just like Corey LaJoie, just to see him driving for the USO, and to see him out that early really was kind of disappointing. was hoping for better. Again, just, for the team, for him, the sponsor, see the USO out there on the car, had the baby, all those things. I just don't like seeing, no matter who it is, taken out that early. And that was way too early to me. But Chase Elliott won stage one. I will say Bubba Wallace made a great save on the front stretch, through that chicane there and drove right into his pit box. So a great save and directly right there by his pit box. We just pulled right in, got everything fixed. Sadly, didn't last long, that save, because Blaney went around, made a mistake, hit the apron. He went too low. It looked like he was in the grass before even, the AstroTurf there on, the infield there in the dog leg, whatever you call the damn thing anymore. But he got down to the AstroTurf before they got to the turn. Then he got too low in the turn. He went around in front of the whole entire field. Lots of people involved, took out a lot of good cars. But sadly, if you watch the race, that was kind of the theme of the Coca-Cola 600. Kind of like a Destructo Derby for a lot of it there. This one involved Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, obviously, Noah Gragson, Ryan, Ryan, Martin Truex Jr., Harrison Burton, who was terrible all day before the race anyway, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Michael McDowell, Todd Gilliland, and Kurt Busch. So 12 of them were involved. Some of them made little contact. Some of them were just done. And, shout out to Bubba again, because he was running right up there. He was running people down past him and up to second at one point. And he had a good race going again, and he got caught up in someone else's stupid, which has happened a lot this year. It's a shame, but, here's the way the cookie crumbles. Got a lot of carnage there from getting too low. Daniel Suarez wins stage two. I do say it's ridiculous. Chastain won stage three, but why the hell did stage two ends on lap 200 and then don't get green until lap 209? What the hell were they doing for 9 laps? It's literally the stage ending caution. It wasn't like they were cleaning anything up. Like I see, get them all formed up, back everyone together. On the green flag, everyone goes in. Next time around, obviously, all the lap guys go in. So there's 2-3 laps, and then get them all formed up after the next lap. It's going to take another lap, but then the lap guys catch up. It should take like 4 laps after, 4, maybe 5, not 9. I get it. They're getting everyone, through it by the time, leader gets through it and the pace car catches up. They're already gone. So that wastes 1 lap. The second lap, they could hit the third lap guys, 4th lap, and everything. They get everyone formed back up and they go on the 5th. I don't know why the hell it takes 9 laps in between, but that's just unacceptable that it keeps. It's not like it's Martinsville. Like it's Charlotte. I've been there enough times. It should not take 9 laps to do any of that. Moving on, Suarez, wrecked, looking good too. With Chris Buescher, Harrison Burton, and Todd Gilliland involved again. And you saw Buscher's tire break off and went underneath the car, and that sent him tumbling. But congratulations to everyone that designed the thing, because the tether held onto the tire. If you watch him flipping, that tire is flailing around, but that tether did not let go, so it didn't go flying into the fans, up in the stands or anywhere else to cause even more damage. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing for that, and glad to see them flipping the car over so gently and nice, and Buescher getting out of it, because he tumbled like a son of a. He was. Anyone that watched that, he was going for a long while there. So good to see him walk away. And again, car parts didn't go flying into the stands. Tire stayed on the tether, no matter how much impact it took, which is what you want from the car. So good on them for that. It was amazing how Christopher Bell hit the wall and was moving as slow as he was with cars near him and all that. And he didn't get a caution like the one at the end of the All-Star race, which just keeps proving all of our points that we made. Briscoe took a shot at getting the lead around Larson, didn't work out, spun himself out, caused a caution with 2 to go when Larson was in the lead, which, the damn shame, because he had it, but it is what it is. Sucks when they happen that close, but Briscoe just making big crazy moves. At least he only took himself out. But first green white checker to come to the line right before Austin Dillon, fresh tires, makes a big move, gets up there and gets turned right before the finish line. Austin Dillon, Ross Chastain, Cole Custer, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Recky Stenhouse Jr. all involved in that one. Again, a lot of wrecked cars. An astronomical amount of wrecked cars in the Coke 600. Like, everyone was gone. It was astronomical. But on the second green white checkered, Denny steals the win. And it's amazing how happy he was to steal a win like that. And then he complains every time anyone else does it, like Bowman, How many wins? Why he just goes and throws a hissy fit? And we all see him actually throw a hissy fit, but glad he's okay with himself backing into one when he didn't deserve it. But Denny got the win, second one of the year. Again, even if you luck into it, it's a win. So take it. Kyle Busch second, Kevin Harvick third. Good for him because at the beginning of that, he looked terrible. Briscoe recovered for a fourth. Bell recovered for a fifth. Tyler Reddick sixth. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got seventh and a 4 straight top 10. So congratulations to him. Keep going. That's, a good thing for him, the team. It helps the sponsors, like it makes everything better for them. So good on him. Michael McDowell got an 8th, and I think he got his first top 10 start of the season, this weekend too. So congratulations to them. Kyle Larson got a 9th after all that. Alex Bowman was 10th. Harrison Burton got 11th. There was over 20 cars wrecked out. And when he got involved in the first one, he was back like 29th, 30th. I think he was 30th. Well, Brad was 29th. Either way, it wasn't good. So you couldn't even squeeze in a top 10 when literally over half the field wrecked out. It's just not running good. No offense to him. I gave Bubba all the credit in the world. He was running good, and he got taken out and stupid. Harrison he's sorry. He wasn't ready. They shouldn't have given it to him. They're just hurting themselves, and they're not it's not good. It wasn't the right move. That's why I just think Matty D was the better fit. Anyone really, but they got him up there because of who he was, money and all that. And it's just not working. He was not ready to drive that car. We all thought so going in. He's proving it now. Nothing against him. I like Harrison Burton. Yeah, you're going to take the shot when they give you the opportunity, but sometimes when you got to say no, because it's just not working for him. But it is what it is. And Ty Dillon got a 13th, but he was running, just as bad as well. But he got a 13th after everyone wrecked out. So still good on him. Just like Harrison got an 11th after everyone wrecked out. He still did it. Might not like it. I don't think he should be there, but 11th is an 11th, and Ty got a 13th out of it. So good on them. And hey, you can't deny that they did it. And to argue it, you can't. They still finished there. But in closing and all this, wrapping it up, again, there's a lot of weird racing. The ARCA race was weird. The F1 race was boring as can be. I mean, ARCA was weird, but at least there's a lot of action, wrecks and stuff to keep people that want to watch that stuff, invested in it. Monaco was historic and beautiful, but you couldn't pass, so that kind of killed it. Dixon deserved the Indy 500, and there was a lot of big impacts and some disappointing finishes, but it wasn't real woo exciting there. Great to see all the fans there. Not taking that away. Just like at Charlotte for the Cup race, it looked like they were building a new grandstand over in Turn 4, right next to the grandstand I normally sit in at pit entrance. So that's really cool. But definitely, the trucks and Xfinity Series and Cup definitely won the weekend for the best racing across the board. Good to see stuff. Glad to see Buescher was okay. Glad to see actual racing after the way last weekend was. And again, crowd, new grandstand, good. Going up there at Charlotte. The Indy crowd was big and everyone was still there, which is, really good just for racing in general to have all of them. So who's going to complain about that? Those are all good things that you want to see. It's healthy. When there's tracks that are selling out and there's other tracks building new grandstands because they're selling that many tickets. No matter what you feel about it, that's a good thing for racing in general. So I can't complain about that. They just got to do something. It doesn't look like they're possibly gonna continue running at Monaco. And again, what the racing just can't pass there anymore. And it just leads to, not good racing and fan experience. That's just the truth. There's nothing you can do about it. You don't like it. I don't care. It's just the way it is. So, whatever. But overall, the racing for NASCAR definitely made up for, all the other idiocy and weird things that happen. So good on them. And that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I'll be back on Friday with Walter, as long as, his brain isn't about to explode or anything. Talk about everything, get his take on a bunch of stuff. I appreciate the watch. I appreciate all the listens, no matter how you're doing. Everyone, good pods. We'll keep getting it out to more people and sharing. We'll keep getting us up that Indy sports show. Get us up there in the rankings and in normal sports shows. Like, keep getting us up there and sharing it out and getting it to more people. Because, that's just amazing to see those numbers. And also Fall Asleep, Racing Rosinski on Twitter. Everyone, jump on there if you have one, if you don't. But follow it on there so you could, tweet things out and share it and get that page growing too. Follow along on Facebook. The videos go on YouTube and Rumble. Unless I'm with Walter, then I share those on, Facebook as well. Just like on Twitter, I don't share all the video there unless I'm with someone else, just because who wants to stare at this face any more than you have to. But YouTube and Rumble are there. And I appreciate all of you. Again, sorry now, but I didn't get to watch Coke 600 finally until today. So I was trying to catch up with everything, just with all the plans Hannah, and her family had and stuff we did. So yeah, back on regular schedule now to Friday and then following Monday, unless there's rain. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for checking out again. Please, no matter where you're on Facebook, share, follow the Facebook page, go on there, share out all the audio. It helps. Share out the good pods, share out stuff on, find the Twitter page and, share that stuff out. Find the link for the show on Facebook, share that out to get to more people, help this thing grow. I'll be back on Friday. I appreciate your time. Be good to each other. Have a good week. And like always, my friends, till next time, peace.